everybody, welcome back to The Tomb and another More from The Tomb review. This review, I'll be talking about the exciting conclusion to the Strangers trilogy in The Strangers Chapter 3. I can't keep a straight face because it's not an exciting conclusion. I'll just tell you that right up front. Spoiler alert. But before we dive into the review, make sure you subscribe, you follow, you like, you hit that bell so you don't miss anything that I do over here on the channel, whether it's the podcast or these videos. Thank you so much for those who watch along. I truly appreciate it. All right, let's dive into The Strangers Chapter 3. Tethered by a frightening conclusion, Maya and the strangers are locked on an unavoidable, unforgiving collision course. A showdown that proves they're far from strangers now. This is directed by Renny Harlin. It stars Madelaine Petsch, Richard Brake, Gabriel Basso, Ema Horvath, Hannah Galway, and many others. Before we dive into Chapter 3, kind of give you a little behind the scenes of myself and the Strangers series as a whole. The original film, absolutely love the original film. I think the original film is one of the best home invasion movies that has been made. The concept of these strangers, because you were home, just for no reason, nothing behind them, just because, is frightening as hell. The second one, Pray at Night, turned it into kind of like an 80s slasher film. I know a lot of people don't like it, but it's still a very enjoyable film, and the strangers are still kind of mysterious. And then we get to this new trilogy, The Strangers Chapter 1. You know, for all intents and purposes, what it was, it's basically kind of a beat for beat of the original film, set in a different location with a few different things here and there. Overall, I mean, I kind of enjoyed Chapter 1. I didn't think it was bad. I didn't think it was great. But it had really good moments that kind of tried to make it its own and push forward and got me excited for these other films that we were going to get in this. And then we got Strangers Chapter 2, and I really did not like Chapter 2. I hated the framing that he did in it, the close-ups, the way it was edited, and I don't need a background of the strangers. It takes away the fear, the mystery, and the frightening piece that is the strangers. You give them a backstory and tell me who they are. I don't care. And then in this Chapter 3, you know, we'll dive a little bit more into it. You get more of that. And I'm going to tell you up front that I'm probably going to dive into a few spoilers here and there. I just want to warn you from the get-go that spoilers might happen because I have a few things I want to say about this Chapter 3 and the trilogy in a whole. So Chapter 3 basically picks up right where we left off in Chapter 2. Maya has killed one of the strangers and she's trying to get away. The thing that made me laugh is the way this movie starts out. It comes up with a definition for serial killer. Okay, that seems weird that in your third chapter, you're going to put that up. Why not start your series off with this definition if you're going to use it, not Chapter 3 to try to like hook people in a little bit. I thought that was really stupid. But she's trying to get away, and a lot of things, tense chasing it. You know, she's injured. She's still trying to get away. Richard Brake, the sheriff in this town, is after her. She's trying to escape him. She's trying to escape the scarecrow, you know, the Baghdad guy. She ends up getting caught. And with this film, this movie is, for the most part, pretty slow. It was touted as this big conclusion to the series. Like, there's going to be things that are going to happen in this that are just going to, you know, you're going to go, oh my gosh. And, you know, some things did happen in this movie, and I went, what the hell was that? It was just dumb. You give me more backstory of these people. You're going to tell me, okay, here's one of their early kills. Here's another kill, kind of bringing the other strangers together. So the doll face, baby face, bringing them as a group, how they kind of came together. I don't care. I want the strangers to be mysterious. I want the strangers to be because you were home. That's all I want from them. What I did like in showing those is that every time they go after somebody, that it's kind of like that same thing. You know, the knock on the door. Is Tamra home? That kind of thing. Okay, that's fine. But give me more of those stories and keep them mysterious. I don't need a backstory for them. I don't want a backstory for them. It takes away, it's not frightening. It's not scary if you give me all of this of who they are, where they came from, all of that. That, it's not scary because you just kind of ruin the mystery of it. Maya's character through this trilogy up to just this chapter 3 has taken quite the arc. I mean, the first film, she is the victim. The second film, it's a fight for survival, kind of the final girl. She's fighting back. And then in this one, basically everything in her life is gone. Her emotions are checked out, and she is she becoming one of them? I mean, they try to make her one of them. The Scarecrow has this weird smittenness for her, trying to make her the next little pinup girl, putting the mask on her, wanting her to be one of them. I mean, she kind of goes that route as her emotions exit her body. The more kills that happen in front of her, like basically she's just drug along for the ride as he kills some more people in front of her, trying to get her to kill as well. I mean, she does kill the other stranger, and then, spoiler, ultimately kills him as they're like, we are the same. And I was sorely disappointed. Like the first one, fine. We basically remade the original movie. But then from there, I don't know if they had a plan, or this didn't need to be a Strangers series. It didn't need to have the strangers in it at all. This could have been any generic killer with a mask. It could have been any group of 3. You could have put a mask on them to make them mysterious. They didn't need to be these 3. It could have been anybody. Making them these 3 after the films that we got previously of kind of setting up what they were, how creepy they were, home invasion, scary because you were home. And then you completely ruined it with especially these final 2 chapters. More than anything, after I finished up chapter 3, I was pissed off more than anything else. I was upset. I was hoping after 2, I didn't love 2, but I was hoping that 3 would kind of redeem some of that and make it a little bit better. Unfortunately, it didn't. It just completely fell flat. And honestly, I laughed in many scenes in it, especially when he is trying to make her kind of become one of them. There were so many scenes that just made me chuckle. And I'm like, I can't take this seriously at all. If you haven't seen any of these 3 films, don't. Go watch the first 2. Go watch the original Strangers for sure. Watch Pray at Night. I enjoy Pray at Night. Some people hate it, but I love it. This Strangers trilogy, no. Just no. It's not worth your time. I will say though, through the 3 movies, Madelaine's her Maya character is great. She does a fantastic job of this full arc of the victim to basically, is she going to become the next stranger? That's kind of how they leave it at the end. I liked what they did with her character, and she did a fantastic job. Everybody else just seemed so robotic and stone cold. The Strangers chapter 3, skip it. If you haven't seen any of these others, skip them. They're not worth it. Thanks for watching along to my ragings on the Strangers trilogy and the Strangers chapter 2 and 3, particularly 3. As I just kind of raged on. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you will join me again in the tomb. Don't know what I'll be watching, but I do know I'm going to have a good time talking about it.